Coach Franco Says is a proud member of the Philippine Podcast Directory. Come check out the page on Facebook and listen to the amazing lineup of local podcasters this country has to offer.
Three guys talking about combat sports. Welcome everybody. I have with me the boys of Dstry.MNL, Carl De Mesa and JC Reyes, and we are going to talk about combat sports. We're going to discuss different organizations and everything that we love about fighting. So for today's agenda, it's going to be UFC 251 on Fight Island.
Yes,
So,
Island.
Yeah.
Fight Island.
diba?
Abu Dhabi.
Yan, di ba? Ganun po karami yung pera ang mga tao sa UFC and
Sa UFC.
and Abu Dhabi. So like Carl will explain saan yung venue.
So apparently, Yes Island has been,
Yes.
hindi na siya bago, nag-UFC na pala doon, coach, for
Which one?
a couple of fights. Apparently, it was host to UFC,
Ano to? The one with Henzo and Anderson Silva ba to?
Noguera
yung card na yun?
versus Nelson back
Okay.
in 2014. Tapos meron pa in 112 in 2010 and UFC 242 last year
So
lang.
at least
Hindi na
so
siya
at least
bago.
the UFC is very familiar with the place and they've built a relationship with local contacts. Kaya rin Dana White was very adamant and he was very confident. Doon ako di ba? You guys have been covering so many MMA events and you saw how confident Dana White was in saying na, oh, we're gonna put it in an island. Di ba?
Absolutely. In fairness naman, I'm astounded at the number of safety precautions they're putting in, di ba? On principle, I'm kind of against it because it's a bit of a frivolous use of the frontliners. But if they're being paid well, it goes to them and their family.
Diba? Parang dun mo makikita how the UFC is the golden standard when it comes to conducting sporting events. I mean, they made it happen. Diba? They made it happen.
Nobody else has had sporting events except them. Even
Exactly. Diba?
I actually
One.
hated the idea na nag-event pa rin sila kahit na kainitan na ng COVID eh. Lahat tumigil na eh. Tapos nandun pa rin sila. And then,
pa rin sila.
Dana said, Fight Island. Yung mata ko parang, wait. Maganda to. Ito dapat yung abangan. Okay na to.
And it's not
talaga.
and it's very conducive for it's very conducive pa for sporting events. Diba? It's very conducive for sporting events. And now it's very blood sporty, diba? Or it's very Mortal Kombat kung tutuusin These are the things that you only see in the movies na I mean, it's as cliche-ish as it may sound. Parang isipin mo, saan nakakita ng event na bigla sasabihin, we're gonna do it on an island. Di ba sa pelikula, I mean, yung mga baduy na Mortal Kombat series mo lang, all of a sudden, it's here. Di ba? It's actually happening. So, we're gonna break down the fights for you. We're going to discuss the main card. So, at the bottom, pero I really think that a lot of people are gonna watch this. So, it's gonna be Paige Van Zandt versus Amanda Ribas. So
Amanda Ribas is like
ito yun, it's just the eye candy fight of the card.
It is. Amanda Ribas is understated beautiful, man. Parang and this is I was doing a story on yung isang patron niya, si Diesel Diva, sa military vet. And Amanda has been like one of those fairy tale stories na galing siyang favela. And she needed help just getting to the gym, stuff like that. And now she's like 3-0 in the UFC. So
ano siya, so it's a good winning streak for her. She's getting notoriety. And
who do you like for this one, coach? PVC has been out for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're talking about the old Paige Van Zandt, the exciting fighter, the hungry fighter, the fighter. There's just so many things that's going on outside of the cage. Diba? And she's been very vocal.
Are we talking about her Sports Illustrated cover?
Oh, diba? She's
distracted niya siya.
Exactly to JC's point. Diba? There's so many other things that's happening outside of the cage na that's actually siya rin naman. She's very vocal about it. She's earning more based on social media endorsements. She joined Dancing with the Stars and she earned more. she's posing for in the front covers of
SI.
magazines, and she's earning more, diba? So
she's
now,
becoming the female Luke Rockhold, I think.
Oh my God. That's a good comparison. Oh my God.
Diba?
Yeah. Tapos
Exactly.
walang panalo si Luke.
Aha.
Diba? Yun eh.
Oh.
So what's gonna be your primary motivation to go to the gym and train for an actual fight? Diba?
IG,
So,
Instagram, coach.
and pag sa, diba? Parang whether you win or you lose, diba? Parang yun na lang din eh. Yun na yung habol mo ngayon. When you win, it looks good on your social media feed. When you lose, you just say, I'll bounce back. Thank you for your support. Yada yada yada. Pero as a fighter with a fighting career, diba? It's not good for you, diba? It's not good for you. So it kind of brings into question: are you staying in the UFC roster so that it adds to your marketability? Diba kasi ito yun eh. Diba? If diba, Paige Van Zandt is an eye candy, pero you take away the UFC status away from her, diba? There are plenty of beautiful faces out there. Diba? This is not to diss on Paige Van Zandt. She's very beautiful. Pero ito lang yun eh. The added appeal of being a fighter increases her marketability. And a losing streak, an additional loss in her career is not good, diba? The UFC can just cut her off na, diba? She has just good hands. She knows how to kick. Hindi ko sure eh. I'm not really sure where she's training now and how she's training.
Hindi na siya
diba?
nasa alpha. Wala na siya sa alpha male. No?
Yeah, wala na siya sa alpha male, and for sure her husband's gonna take care of her training camp, and we don't know who are her training partners. We don't know the training regimen, and nobody knows how often she trains and the focus of the training, about given the distraction. So for
Coach,
this
I still
one,
remember her not being submitted by Rose.
exactly.
So,
that's how tough she is.
Yeah, she's
But toughness can only get you so far. But toughness can only get you so far, and you're up against Hebus, who's very hungry. She's very hungry. She's very determined. And she doesn't have other distractions.
You think she stands with Hibas? Kasi very technical din si Hibas on her feet. I've seen her boxing.
I don't think she has a choice kasi I haven't seen Paige Van Zandt grapple too much. Diba? And most of her losses came with a disadvantage in the stand-up. So this is going to be interesting how she will adjust and how much has she developed during lockdown period. Kasi even though even if the gyms are closed, diba, your husband is an MMA fighter, imposibleng hindi ka gumaling. Imposibleng hindi ka nagte-train, diba? Yeah. So next one is the rematch, Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas.
That's very exciting, Coach.
Napanood niyo ba yung were you able to watch the previous one, the first one?
The first one, where she got slammed by Jessica into oblivion. Parang, you think that was like a miscalculation on her part? Kaya Coach, like, just letting go of the armbar would have been great.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with I cannot fault her for not letting go of the submission hold kasi it's there. However, from an MMA standpoint, diba, from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, you don't let go talaga. But from an MMA standpoint, when you're airborne, you fucking let go. Diba?
Everybody's seen Rampage.
Diba? You have to let go. Diba? Wala na. Diba? You just can't but I really think now, ang ano ko kasi dito is ikaw muna, JC. Kasi I'm still trying to figure out like how to weave the analysis on Rose.
Yeah, what's up with Rose ba these days, JC? Like last time ko siya nakita, she was very
parang
to come back, I think.
Problema ko kasi kay Rose.
Yeah,
parang I don't think yung mindset niya is still in the fight game for some reason.
You think so?
Parang distracted na rin siya eh. I don't know.
There were scenes nung parang previous fight, nung champion na siya, and she was saying at her farm that it's nice. Diba? I've been like living the okay pala.
Parang you don't. I don't know where her headspace is at. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I mean, as someone who who fought MMA and is coaching MMA fighters, when you see your fighter na parang, I'm like,
Chill masyado.
I'm good. I'm just gonna grow organic stuff and invest my money in cryptocurrency and advocate for world peace.
Yeah.
Medyo iba yung headspace niya eh. So I don't know if
I really want to see her because Trevor Whitman's made some huge improvements to her striking. Like, man,
yun.
knocking down Ioana. Like, wow.
Grabe yung kay Ioana talaga.
Wow.
So dun mo natin ngayon makikita if Trevor Whitman is able to get through Rose's barrier, and then how will that relationship translate to Fight Island? Kasi Rose Namajunas is a high-level athlete. She's a she's a high-level fighter. There's one thing that made me a fan of Rose Namajunas, di ba? Ano siya eh, parang sobrang baby-faced assassin siya.
Diba? She shaved her head so we wouldn't focus on her beauty, di ba?
Exactly, di ba? Kasi chick siya eh. When she had long hair, chick siya eh. Di ba? So she shaved her head kasi it gets in the way of training, gets in the way of fighting daw. So I'm like, for her to say something like that, it's a clear depiction of her priorities. And then hindi natin alam what are the things that happen in between, diba? So pero at least I'm just glad that she's back.
Yeah.
And yun, tingnan natin kung anong.
She credits some of it to Pat Barry, coach. Well, how do you like Pat Barry? I've never seen him like.
Di ba asawa niya si Pat Barry?
Asawa niya.
Hindi. Pero syempre, for Pat Barry.
I've never been impressed with Pat Barry's.
Naman.
What I was wanting to say.
Sorry, pero ako rin.
Sadly, but
not really.
I'm sure he's a big part of.
Naman. He probably just said na, you're still young, you can still do this, di ba? Sayang. Those are probably the words of encouragement na, Tsaka ito lang din naman yun eh.
Huwag ka mag-piano-piano, puro ka piano-piano sa bahay.
Pero
diba?
I hope
sayang.
Yung Rose na makita natin on Fight Island is the Rose na nakita natin nung Rose versus Ioana 1.
We need Thug Rose, baby. We need Thug Rose.
I hope she doesn't get slammed again. That would be so awful, man. Like,
kung mas laman siya, sana bumitaw na lang agad.
Diba? Yung sakto naman. Yung saktong lang, diba? Good game plan. Diba? It has to be a good game plan. And then, next up, we got, I'm looking forward to this fight. Jose Aldo versus Peter Yan.
Yeah. Siberian pala itong si Peter Piotr Yan. Piotr ata. So just the environment he grew up in should make him tough. Tapos he trains out of Tiger Muay Thai, which I think he picked up the clinching game doon. Kasi he was a very good boxer, and you can see it in his like. I'm sure you can shine more light on yung stance switches niya. Pero I can see like hindi siya overly reliant doon sa shell guard, and the way he destroyed Uriah Faber was amazing. Wow! He knocked him down twice. Nag-iiringan silang pareho. Tumalsik si Uriah. Nagulat ako. What do you think, JC?
Sobrang I mean, alam ko nung fight nila yan, si Faber was, matagal naman na siyang parang wala sa fight game per se. Sa halata naman sa laro niya, pero I mean, big accomplishment pa rin for Yan to do such a feat.
Yeah.
Parang nagmukhang di na marunong si Faber.
Diba? A bantamweight, di ba? I mean, come on, he's huge.
I think this is a title fight. Alam ko this is a title fight.
Oo. Vacant kasi yung bantamweight ata. Yeah.
Kasi wala na si Cejudo.
Ano siya? Triple C is retiring, blah, blah, blah. King of Cringe,
Dalawang
bye-bye.
bets nga pala vacant na yun dahil Triple C.
Diba?
For a moment, actually, I thought magbe-Bella twins siya, but anyway.
I like the Jose Aldo now. And finally,
he did say he was, his weight cut was better.
His weight cutting better because now he employed a nutritionist. So
well, it's about fucking time.
Yeah,
Man, bawal na yung bro dude Brazilian.
Oh, dude. Kasi hindi ko maintindihan. Yan ang hindi ko maintindihan why it kind of brings into, di ba, where's their money, di ba? Where's their money going?
Kasi naalala ko sino yung previous bantamweight kayo na Brazilian din, si
Henan Barao ba to?
Oo.
Yeah,
his
they're all
weight cuts were awful.
teammates pa sila. Nova Uniao boys yun.
So,
Diba, they're still cutting weight the old school way. Starvation and sauna. Yun hindi ko magets eh. Diba? That's it. I don't understand. It's probably the Brazilian way, or they probably have a team.
I think we should have an episode just for yung best lessons or best practices for weight cuts.
Weight cutting, pwede.
How not to die while starving yourself.
From weight cuts.
It's proposed. It's ridiculous. I don't understand now. So for him to say that he finally employed or got a nutritionist, diba, that made
finally
it's gonna be good for his career. And I like the Jose Aldo I saw versus the Marlon Moraes fight.
Yes. I think he won that.
I think he should have won that. Yep, I think he won that fight, so that's probably added motivation. But that doesn't discount the fact that Piotr Yan is he's a very young and hungry guy. Yun eh, diba? He's the new, and that's the danger with new and upcoming people. Eh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Yeah. So when you have that mentality, you can just charge. You can just go out there and fight. But now it's how Jose
take
Aldo.
More damage, you know?
It's up to Jose Aldo how he's going to impose his game plan and how he will adjust to, how he will adjust to Piotr's presence and we'll see if the hype behind Piotr Yan is good.
You think they'll?
I've heard so many good things
keep it
about
standing
him.
Up?
I think the longer the rounds go, it's gonna be better for, believe it or not, for Piotr. Kasi Jose Aldo has a tendency to gas out in the later rounds.
Yeah, he's 34, 35, I think.
Sino?
Si Aldo, he's still pretty young.
Yeah, pretty good. Pero yun nga eh, parang he's always had a cardio problem. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the cardio problem din naman niya, I mean, let's put this into the equation, is because he was cutting weight the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So that will definitely hinder performance. That makes a huge difference in performance. So
I wanted to talk to you guys since you both versed in striking. Like, what stands out to you? Parang nag-iba na yung game plan, or like, not like Wanderlei Silva, Latter-day Wanderlei, Vanderlei Silva. Pero iba na yung striking ni Aldo ngayon, no? Not so much heavy on leg kicks. I wonder why. Is it? What do you guys think?
There's probably an injury there that we don't know.
Either an injury or I don't know. Nag-iba si Aldo since the McGregor loss. Hindi na siya bumalik sa dati noon eh.
Okay.
Whatever happened to him after that loss?
That is a very good point. Yon, it's never the same. It was never the same.
Is
after
it a
the
mental
McGregor
thing or?
I think it's a mental thing.
Probably. So that's the next thing for Nova Uniao to maybe invest in a mental coach.
Yeah.
Hindi lang, I mean, it's not just the mental aspect of parang it's the training methodology, and then at the same time, if the program is not evolving, if the program is not improving, diba? Ano lang yan? Actually, parang rinse and repeat formula, then wala. Yung magpa-plateau yun.
Kasi parang common siya for most Nova Uniao guys. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is it
happened to Henan Barao?
Yeah, Henan Barao just fell off the grid. Diba?
So ano yan? That's gonna make you question the team culture, how the program is made, how the program is run.
Is BJ Penn still with Nova Uniao?
Yeah.
Nova, his lineage is Nova Uniao. Pero BJ Penn is in Hawaii chilling.
With
enjoying his BJ Penn status.
Yeah, and getting into bar fights.
He gets into occasional bar fights. Diba? Pero ano yun eh.
Curse of retired fighters.
Pero ang lineage niya, lineage niya. When he got his black belt, when he became a world champion.
One of the youngest,
was the youngest black belts to win a world title. And according to him and to accounts of reliable sources, he was partying the previous night.
What?
Yung tipo po kahit siya may isang documentary kung magkwento niya, I was partying, we're drinking, then they said following day, there's a tournament there, it's the World Championship, so let me join that. Wala lang, he just had the just scrap mentality.
Fuck, man, I thought that was like an exclusively Diaz brothers kind of thing.
I think BJ Penn started the whole just scrap thing.
Just scrap thing.
Yeah, si BJ Penn ang isa sa mga the whole if you look at the lineup of his batchmates Half Gracie noon.
Okay.
Sila yun. For me, they're the original scrap pack. Kasi it was BJ Penn, Dave Camarillo, Half Gracie, Kurt Osiander.
Oh my God.
Magkakabarkada yung mga yan.
The Neanderthal of Jiu-Jitsu.
Diba? Sila magkakabarkada yung mga yan. So, ayun. So, I think they're the early version of the scrap pack. Kasi, mga siraulo silang, jiu-jitero na nag-MMA.
Who are we rooting for in this one? I'm kind of leaning towards Piotr, Siberian dude.
I'm a Jose Aldo fan. Pero
same, but,
looking at it from an analytical standpoint, I'm gonna give this one to Piotr.
So our hearts say Aldo,
Jose,
but
our
heads say Siberia.
Diba?
Aldo needs a miracle to win. I don't know.
You think so?
If we see the WEC Aldo,
that would be
diba?
The Aldo that jump need Cub Swanson.
Diba?
Jesus.
Yun. Diba? We need to see WEC Aldo on this one. Next one is the co-main event of the evening. The Blessed Express versus Alexander Volkanovski. So it's Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. JC, anong meron sa buhok ni Max Holloway?
Hindi ko alam ano na nangyayari
dyan. Yung buhok ni Max na bago. Hindi siya yata nakapag-barbero, JC.
Ano na nangyayari kay Max Holloway? Diba? Parang isa pa to eh. Parang isa pa to eh. Wala na rin siya sa hulog eh. Hindi ko alam ano nangyayari sa kanila.
And di ba kanina
yung CTE na idea sa MMA or what eh.
Bagong chicks daw.
Ang lockdown life niya pala, guys, is video games and his new girlfriend. Puro siya gaming and
Ayan din.
Right stature.
Ito yun, another guy that's cutting a lot of weight and has weight cutting problems. Yeah. That's gonna be a problem for him. Kasi ito yun when you cut too much weight, this is something that a lot of MMA fighters who cut a lot of weight, these are MMA fighters who cut a lot of weight every fight. Okay, the first battle will always be the scale. Now, I said this one too many times already. When your focus is to train so that your weight goes down, you lose time to train for the fight.
Okay.
Kasi ngayon, when you train, your goal is to shed off the weight. Yun yung nagiging priority number one. Versus your training because you are going to be in a fight.
Yeah.
Nababaw yung priorities mo ngayon in training, nag-shift.
So do you need more time to recover?
Exactly. And then when you have to cut a lot of weight, diba, the recovery is definitely the recovery is going to take its toll on your body. If your body doesn't recover well, it's going to show in the later rounds. Yan yung nangyayari kay although he did well in the first round, in the first outing, he could have approached it differently. Like, he's taller.
Yeah.
He's taller. If I was Max Holloway's coach, I know my fighter likes to bang. Diba? He likes to fight in the pocket because he loves to fight eh. Pero let's approach this strategically. Diba? You're longer, so let's utilize your jab more. Diba? You're longer, let's do the kicking. Hindi ko maintindihan eh. Volkanovski was the shorter guy, pero he was the one who was doing the kicking.
He was kicking a lot, chewed up Max's front leg. Like, what?
Diba? Even if
Weird.
Max denies it, it took its toll on him. He couldn't step on that leg. He couldn't really lean on. He can't really put his weight on that leg to throw a power punch. Diba? Yun lang yun. For me, the strategy for Max to win this fight is to rack up points. You're the taller guy. You should be the one kicking. You should be the one kicking. You're taller. Then you have longer reach. Jab. I don't understand why.
Maximize na talaga yung reach niya.
Diba? If there jabs can win you a whole fight. Diba? Let's just go back to Josh Koscheck versus GSP. Diba? Yeah. These are the things that people should watch and break down na parang, diba? Namaga yung mukha ni Josh Koscheck sa kakajab ni GSP. Diba? And he was keeping him at bay. That's it. And the only reason why, well, it's part of Volkanovski's game plan naman talaga to chop down on Max's legs. Pero ito lang yun eh. Hindi makaka-sprawl ng maayos si Max.
Yes.
Diba? He can sprawl. Kasi ito lang yun eh. If you can't lift your leg, by the time Volkanovski decides to go for a shot, diba? You can't react. You can't react right away. And nakita niyo na ba kung ano yung tsura ni Volkanovski dati?
Yeah, he's 200 pounds down. A rugby player pala. My God, how he's like what 5'6"?
Parang
5'6.5" yata or something
5'6",
like that.
5'6"
how does
and a half.
a guy like that balloon into?
Hindi, pero ano eh. Parang
Bulk, palapad.
Bulk eh. Bulk eh. Kasi rugby player siya eh. So bulky
Tapos
siya.
he fights at featherweight now. Like,
so nag-slim down siya na maayos. So it's a clear indication of good weight training and good diet and alam mo yun. He disciplinado rin siya eh. Disciplinado siyang fighter eh. That's one thing I like about him. He was patient and he was very disciplined and he weathered the storm talaga. So for this one, I don't know. Kayo, who's your pick?
Oh man, I really like Max. I've also seen his girlfriend. So my deep dive.
Magandang reference.
So I want him to win.
Diba?
I'm sorry, I just want to see the girl.
Surf chicks eh, no? Surf chicks.
Oo eh. Pilipino pala.
Pilipino ba? Nako, yung mga
mga Ilocano sa Hawaii.
Nako, yung mga Filipino fame riders dyan. Mga sinasabi.
Pinoy pride agad yan.
Nanalo si Max ngayon. Oy, Pinay girlfriend yan.
Pinay girlfriend
yan. Talaga?
I really like Max, but I've seen Volkanovski's training and the fact that Max has said he's only been training through Zoom does place too much confidence in my... I don't think I want to bet my money on Max for this rematch. I'm sure he's made adjustments.
Hindi ko alam kung anong meron sa mga fighters from Tiger Muay Thai now. Lahat sila pataas eh.
Grabe, no?
Yung champions nila ngayon.
Talagang the way it's MMA talaga has so many facets. Pero ito lang yun eh. If you're a well-conditioned fighter, if you're a well-oiled machine, if your cardio is up, trust me, cardio is up, skill set, madaling i-drill yan.
Okay. So it's easier to add
for
sa good foundation.
Ito lang yun eh. Like for example, me, I'm always one of the few people who will say this. A lot of people say na ang galing-galing ni Chris Hoffman kasi 2 belts eh. Diba? Pero for me, when I have a conversation with him, and then I'm very thankful din na kahit si Professor Richard Lasprilla, who's a legend in Philippine mixed martial arts, he also has the same viewpoint na parang for us, Chris Hoffman is still raw talent. Believe it or not, di pa. There are so many things that he's still learning. And ito lang yun, mabilis yung pick up niya eh. And then he listens. He's very coachable. He's very disciplined. He's very coachable. So whenever we have, like, I will ask the URCC, like, anong schedule? What's gonna be? Who's gonna be his opponent? How many months do we have? So pag sinabi na yung schedule, si Prof. Richard, ang bilis. Meron na agad siyang calendar sa utak niya. We're gonna train so and so and so and so. Magpipick ka ng ganito, mag-paper down ka ng ganito, then we're gonna go to the fight. And then when he has that game plan, ang participation ko na doon is to make sure that Chris is in the best condition of his life. Situational training, situational sparring, and then papasok doon yung technical prowess ni Prof. Richard. As in drill down. And believe it or not, these are super simple things na tinuturo niya. Pero yun nga we make sure that he's very conditioned, and then we don't overcomplicate things. It's a problem with a lot of MMA fighters I see, especially here in the Philippines. Everyone wants to overcomplicate things. Ang daming sequences, pero when he teaches you the concept behind it, it's very simple. Ang ano niya, it's very doable. So kaya tas ang bilis ng pick up ni Hoffman. Kaya pag like, I mean, wag na tayong lumayo. Look at his last fight. Diba? Yeah. With the taller, diba? Ito na yun, that guy is longer. Oh, si Musa Conte, that guy is taller, that guy is heavier, that guy is stronger. Arrived earlier than Chris.
Yeah, he did.
Diba? Chris fought jet lagged. Ganun yun. Pero syempre, diba, when he was still in Switzerland, we were monitoring how he was training. I was giving him, do this, and this day. I know na pag sinend ko yun, gagawin niya. Ganun yung trust ng camp namin. So, when he arrived, alam din ni Prof. Richard ngayon, okay, ganitong oras siya dumating. Nako, ito yung adjustment na kailangan kong gawin kasi kailangan hindi siya antukin during the fight. So, yun. So, that's where coaching and training camps come into play. And for Carl to say na si Max Holloway nagka-training lang via Zoom. Oh no.
Patay.
And si Volkanovski apparently he added Eugene Behrman. City Kickboxing to his team. Siya na yung head coach aside from his home Australian team. So parang saan ka pa?
Diba?
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi may ganun siyang tendency.
Pero nakakabalan talaga yung Zoom
For one.
Diba? I'm just trying to do this.
Do you remember, guys, that he would celebrate right after weight cut? Meron siyang cupcake guy. Oo! Meron siyang Hawaiian Filipino cupcake guy. And then, ang boss niya, we triple dipped it.
Tignan natin. I really hope he makes weight.
Jeez.
He recovers.
What is the first thing that, coach, goes if you have a bad weight cut? Is it the kidneys?
Normally, it's a combination of everything.
Okay.
Pero, syempre, you're still, during that week, after a successful weight cut, kahit nasabihin mo medyo super drastic yan, yung masamang weight cut. Kidneys, it's your liver. So, definitely, you have to hydrate slowly and properly. Hindi yan yung ginagawa na pagkatapos ay makikita mo yung mga tao. Kaya pag weigh-ins, nakikita ko, yung mga pagkatapos mag-weigh-in, nakikita ko may Gatorade kagad, tsaka may tubig, tapos nalaklakay nila na. So, sabi ko, sige, gawin mo yan.
Hindi ba dahan-dahan dapat?
Ngayon nga, yung iba kasi dahil sobrang dehydrated sila. Di ba? I'm like, sige, tingnan nyo, bukas bloated yan. Bloated ka bukas. Di ka makakakilos.
Nag-emergency yung katawan mo, like, mag-iipon ako ng tubig.
Diba? Wala, tapos biglang bubuhusan mo ng sandamakmak, diba? These are the things that hopefully coaches will understand when it comes to cutting weight for their fighters. So, I think Volkanovski has this one. He's gonna retain the belt. Unless, like, Hawaii has, unless Max brings the entire Hawaiian, the entire Hawaiian gods lineup, diba? And they give all their mana to.
I'm still hoping the Zoom training is like the new age.
Diba via Zoom pero naka VR si Max?
Diba?
Malay natin. Hindi natin alam. Diba?
Man, who knows? He's blessed.
Diba? The Blessed Express is back. Diba? With
Okay,
matching hot
moving on.
girlfriend. Diba?
Shout out to Alessa Quizon.
Diba? Alamin niyo nga kung Pinay ba talaga yan. Diba?
Mamaya.
Tapos may chismax pa yan. Pinag-chismisan namin ni Carl yun. Bago
Surfer
mag-record.
culture. Diba?
Diba? And then of course, we are going to the main event of the evening. So it's the welterweight champ Kamaru Usman defending his belt against Street Jesus Jorge Masvidal.
Gonna bless some people.
Jorge Masvidal is a last-minute replacement to
Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns. Durinho
Poor
kasi.
Gilbert Burns. Grabe. Poor guy. Sabi nung kapatid niya si Herbert, I woke up to Gilbert crying. Oh my God, that hurts, bro.
Diba?
UFC gold na yun eh.
This just drives home the point that we are not in normal times, man. COVID is not a way.
May siya eh. I mean, Gilbert Burns has a legitimate chance of winning.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
the way he destroyed Tyrone. Man.
Galing ni Gilbert Burns. He's one of those guys that had a steady up climb.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? When he was a virtual unknown and he started racking up wins, and then he was doing it with flair. Then everyone, he's not yet their pay-per-view levels, pero hindi ko alam if you agree with me, JC and Carl, pero there's a part of me that kind of was happy na parang okay.
It wasn't hindi natuloy.
Diba? Kasi it would have sucked. Yeah. I mean, pay-per-view wise, it would have sucked. Diba? Magiging main event dyan would be, Max and Volkanovski, tsaka, diba, mas okay si Jorge kaysa kay Gilbert.
He's been coming out wearing Tony Montana clothes, and of course, I would like to see that guy fight, knocking out Ben Askren in 5 seconds. Man,
I don't think na in off season or he's not in shape. I really
he was he was still training.
Yeah, kasi I know
negotiations fell through.
He was expecting the fight to the Gilbert Burns to not continue with the fight for some reason.
Can we talk about game bred street cred for like
5
seconds? Like, oh my God. Late replacement din siya dun sa street fights ni Kimbo, di ba? Going up against...
He kind of thrives in those situations pa.
Oo.
Diba? This is nothing new for him.
Stepping up di ba?
And
for the longest time, medyo siya, coach. Parang ganun din. Middle carder, walang
very consistent.
Journeyman before.
Exactly.
And then he grew his hair.
And became Street Jesus.
Para
Jesus.
Dito.
Baptizing people.
Parang I think it was good timing for his career. I don't know. Parang all of a sudden everything just fell in place.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that everything just fell in place.
Oo nga.
It did. Who do we
perfect
like for
timing
this
for
one?
everything
Tsaka Usman, Burns, it's a good fight. I mean, the three of us will enjoy that fight.
Yeah.
But from a fight fan's perspective, and if you really want to sell the event, having Jorge Masvidal over at Fight Island, diba?
It's a money fight.
It's a super.
It's like
fight.
some kind of Cuban spice flavor now added to the
diba?
whole mix.
And then you're gonna say, diba? You're gonna say, Street Jesus is coming to the United Arab Emirates.
Like, oh my God! Like, from a marketing perspective, that's just blows the roof off the place.
Yun lang yun.
Jesus is coming.
Jesus is coming. And he's good at promoting fights then. Kasi may following na siya. So it's gonna be.
Plus they had beef, di ba?
Mm.
Some kind of.
I don't know. You guys can probably look into this more than. I mean, you guys are better than this. You could probably we can probably confirm this in the post-fight analysis. Pero parang I think Kamaru wanted the BMF belt to be on the line as well. I heard. I saw a tweet. Parang may tweet ako nakita. Tama ba, JC?
Parang nakita ko yun. Pinag-uusapan actually sa mga groups din. Medyo discussion sa ngayon if
the BMF belt is on the line.
Oh.
Diba? Like ako
May something din talaga sa belt na yun eh.
Yun nga.
Si The Rock. Parang si The Rock kasi yung nagpondo, di ba?
Di ba? So parang isip mo ngayon, nga naman eh. Do you want the UFC title belt or do you want the UFC bad motherfucker belt? Parang, ito lang din yun. Di ba? It'll only stay in the welterweight division. Kasi not unless Jorge goes to middleweight or he goes to 155, it stays at 170. So it kind of makes sense na, pero yun nga
The truth is the BMF belt looks way better than the UFC belt.
Yun pa!
True.
Yun pa!
Totoo lang.
It
looks way better than...
Yeah, I like it more. Gusto ko siya.
Diba? Because the new UFC belt looks like a Power Rangers belt.
Yung coin ng Power Ranger yung kamukha.
Coin, diba? It does.
Whoever designed that, I don't know.
Hindi nila
naisip.
Parang
ginagawa niya.
Parang
baka
future,
90s kid.
Baka or baka meron siya, baka may iniisip siya na in the future ito magiging itsura ng mga designs niya. 'Di ba? Or may robotic.
Wait, how do you guys like the striking? Kasi nag-improve na yung striking ni Kamaru,
Ito lang
diba?
I really believe that Usman will clinch in this fight. He's not gonna strike with Jorge. Jorge has slightly better striking. He's more technically sound. And then he's more comfortable at striking. Usman's style is to utilize his striking in order to bridge the gap and then get you in a clinch, pressure down on you with his weight, and then like the Woodley fight, diba? He would close the gap, then get an underhook, get an overhook, then just punish the body. Then wrestling pressure. Pero in terms of chaining punches and kicks, in terms of cutting angles, I mean he's really good. It was clearly shown during the Colby Covington fight, but Jorge is a lot better than Colby, and he's healthier.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Usman has too many injuries. He's basically running on adrenaline. Tsaka savage willpower. Diba? Savage willpower. Yun na lang talaga ang bumubuhay kay Usman. He's very competitive. He's a high-level champion. Pero yun nga, in the power category, he will outpower Jorge. So if I were Masvidal, I'll keep it at the striking pace. I'll keep it at the striking distance and use my speed. Kasi the moment na Kamaru Usman gets a hold of you, feeling ko is gonna take him down. And I don't know how he is from the bottom eh. So
with the wrestling.
The wrestling part, he can last out. Hindi naman out to wrestle. He can probably outlast him, or he could weather the storm. Yun pala. He could weather the storm. Ang problema lang is, for sure, Kamaru's gonna go in there heavier. Ang laki ni Kamaru eh.
Yeah, he's like huge, diba?
Diba? And he's bringing that whole Nigerian strength with him.
Not to be racist, but yes.
Ang lakas niya.
He's huge and he's African.
Diba? He's huge. He's strong.
Light heavyweight.
Exactly. I mean, totoo. When he walks, diba? When he walks around, pero yun din, diba? He has that super nice swag. He's huge.
Welterweight. I remember he was from Blackzilians, diba? Ang lalaki talaga nila.
Kaya ang coach niya, yung coach pa rin ni...
ano yan? Henry Hooft?
Henry Hooft. Yan.
I think he moved, diba? Kasi same sila ng coach ni Gilbert Burns. So,
you mentioned
decided to leave Henry Hooft. Tapos, I think he moved to Colorado or something. I don't know.
Team Elevate na ba siya ngayon?
Ayun. Elevation. Yeah.
Team Elevation. Team Elevate.
Elevation Fight Team.
Fight Team.
Something like that.
Okay.
Kasama niya si TJ.
Kasi sinabihan sila dalawa ni Burns ni Hooft na if you two are gonna fight, I'm not gonna coach any one of you.
Which is fair.
Fair naman.
Which is fair. The best thing. I mean, okay yun. Props to Henry Hooft.
And that means hindi siya kikita, di ba?
Actually.
Diba?
Hindi, pero
Wala
'di ba?
siyang-
At least, 'di ba? Mas
bahala
pinili
ka sa
niya
buhay
'yon.
mo.
Mas pinili niya 'yon kaysa dun sa relationship niya with the fighters. I don't
I
know. Di ko
just
na-
like Street Jesus, Coach. It's
Diba? Yun
it's
nga.
not a sin to like Jesus.
Wow, dalawa kayo. I like Marty from Nebraska.
You like Marty from Nebraska.
Marty from Nebraska. So he took it on a week's notice, but I'm
Mm.
pretty sure he was training. Guaranteed
Yeah.
yan.
For sure.
He's not out of shape. For Kamaru naman,
No.
you've been preparing for a Gilbert Burns, and then all of a sudden, here comes Jorge. So that's a totally different approach. You're going to
Yeah.
revamp your game plan. You're going to make quick adjustments, and then he didn't say na, no, I'm not gonna take that fight, di ba? Game pa rin siya. So it goes to show how much of a champion he is. My heart says Street Jesus, but
When in
you know,
doubt, just go with Jesus.
Di ba? Go with Jesus. Pero wala. I'm gonna go with Usman.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Marty
with
from
Usman.
Nebraska.
So,
man.
kailangan i-note down natin yan para pag nag-post fight tayo. Di ba? Nag-post
Yung mga
fight
bets
tayo.
natin.
Ano natin,
Malalaman
tama
sino
ba
yung maling prediction.
Tama ba yung predictions natin? Kung pwede ba tayong pang betting, may reliable source ba tayo ng mga betting lines? Diba?
Bet on our predictions. Oo nga.
And the purpose of this show is to update everyone, give you a good glimpse. And ano na rin, there's 3 of us here. We will share our inputs and insights on different martial arts and different martial arts. Combat sports organizations as well. So before we wrap up the show, introduction and kumbaga segue namin to into other sports, other combat sports na i-cover namin.
Yeah.
So Carl is very much please explain to us the WLC.
Yeah, he's the
WLC.
only one who has seen it live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's kind of different. It's different from Muay Thai. I mean, there's music and stuff. The instruments are different. But Lethwei, as you guys know, is the art of 9 limbs as opposed to the art of 8 limbs because there are headbutts in
Headbutts
Lethwei.
legal
Headbutts. And from my time there, apparently there's like 9 techniques for headbutts.
So
Nine
different
areas
ways.
of the face to hit.
Diba?
Oh,
different ways.
to hit the face with your own crown. Apparently. Yeah. So, ang update dito is World Lethwei Championship, the league that is available on UFC Fight Pass, has just signed 2 world champions in Muay Thai, si Diogo Calado and Nose Trujillo, who are...
Talaga?
Yeah.
Si Trujillo, narinig ko na yan.
Oh, he's Portuguese, di ba? Si Calado. Si Trujillo is Spanish.
Yeah, Trujillo.
So, these are kickboxing and Muay Thai champions. So, recruiting foreign fighters naman because what nabibenta dito is the foreign fighters versus Burmese usually.
Yes.
I still call them Burmese, not Myanmese because this is a quick overview. It's the Myanmar name has been forced on the Burmese people, just like everything else in their lives, I think, because they just came out of a military dictatorship.
Yeah.
And even the name was changed of the country without consulting the people. So I'm still with the Burmese people on this, like more traditional ones, which are also enjoyable, that are fought in sandpits and during Buddhist holidays. So kapag may piyesta sa kanila, basically, merong Lethwei fight. Parang sa atin, may boxing kapag may piyesta.
Oo, sa kanila, Lethwei.
And iba yung rules nila ng WLC from the
Yes.
the native.
May points sila. Usually sa tradition, may points. So it's either you win by knockout or mag-throw in ng towel yung corner or you're both in a draw. So madali siyang i-ref. Coach.
Tapos pwede pa headbutt, no? Okay, paala kayo dyan.
Paala kayo dyan. The last man is standing. Basically, bi-break up mo lang yung clinch. Yun na yun. So inisip ko nga, ano kaya ako doon? Parang madali mag-ref doon.
Tsaka
Thank you.
And this is gonna be an exciting league that we can all look forward to. So at least, we're gonna cover that. And then we're gonna do a lot of other things that's going around Asia. Be your one-stop shop when it comes to updates on combat sports. Kasi ito lang yun, guys. Kami lang may alam eh.
I want to listen to you guys commentate or break down yung mga striking fights sa UFC. I mean, just sa Muay Thai and the kickboxing. I also want you guys
Pwede
to talk
gawin
about yung
yun.
karate combat ni Bas Ruten eventually.
Hindi ko nga alam kung meron pa nun eh. Pero ang
really
ganda
like
ng
that
concept
one.
nun eh. That was a good concept. That was a good
Ang
concept.
ganda.
Tapos parang ganun yung...
And then it's
yung
not fought in a cage. Oh, yan. So,
parang may curve para hindi raw malaglag. So aakyat ka.
That's true. Oo.
Diba?
Tapos you can use that to strike, like you
Exactly.
can jump on it.
Yep. You can utilize the whole you can utilize the space to your advantage.
Environment.
So, tingnan natin yan. I'm very
fun, man.
This is the pilot episode and we're gonna do this whole Zoom figuring out and hopefully we can tawag dito. I'll figure out how to share the screen para makita natin. I'm like, dude, hanep siya. Hanep siya.
I'm excited for that.
See that.
It's gonna be insane. Thanks, guys.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Good pilot episode. So final words, JC.
So it's good na combat sports is slowly coming back na rin. By the way, I think malapit na rin bumalik ang local boxing sa atin, which is good. Closed door, but I mean, hinahanap na ng Pinoy isang boxing. We still need to bridge the gap yung sa MMA kasi ang alam pa rin nila basagan lang ng ulo yung MMA, away kalye thing na nasa cage. Pero, I mean, at least we have something to talk about now again, which is great. And wag niyong kalimutan na i-follow yung mga pages namin kay Coach Franco and us at Dstry.MNL.
I'm really glad combat sports is on because ang daming analyst tsaka commentator na walang trabaho. Nanonood lang ng mga lumang fights.
May outlet kami ngayon. May outlet.
Yeah, and we could be under fire for this, but ang daming trash content.
Exactly.
Combat sports.
We really want to, like Dstry.MNL's first credo is to shine a spotlight on the inspiring stories. And one thing we haven't been able to do recently is to just shine the light on stories that need to be put on athletes. And imagine, just as an example, yun nga yung hindi tumigil mag-training si Jorge Masvidal, even though his fight negotiations fell through, and now by some quirk of fate he is fighting for the championship. I that just blows my mind. And these are the moments that I think we as fight fans not only live for, but as fight analysts and commentators, these are the chances that we have to actually shine a light on these kinds of stories. And another thing is, I'm really excited to discuss Lethway with not only with educated partners like Coach Franco and JC, but also to bring that into Filipino consciousness, because I think Filipinos will not only love it, but we might also be able to eventually field our own fighters into that very brutal sport that it's I think we are born for and trained for. I want to discuss the stuff in Japan too, because that's probably really exciting, just the rise in and stuff that's going on.
This is your Combat Sports Weekly. It's a combination of Coach Franco Says and Dstry.MNL. Please follow our social media pages. We're all on Facebook, we're all on Instagram, and we're gonna be on YouTube. Dstry.MNL, magkakaroon na po ng YouTube yan. This will be distributed on YouTube and on all audio podcasting platforms. So we're gonna be on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and on Spotify. So if you enjoy this episode, please provide your feedback. And then if you want us to feature or talk about several fighters, whether local or international, pero I could definitely speak for the three of us. We'd want to share the stories of more local fighters so that you know their story, you can relate to them and see that they're normal people with extraordinary skills. Okay? And with that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And we're going to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Combat Sports Weekly is a joint broadcast of Coach Franco Says and Dstry.MNL. we would like to thank the following partners for making this possible. Being in the moment is all that matters. Beware the robot face, knots and crosses. Place your orders on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Gatorade, because nothing beats Gatorade. Community and culture, just good vibes in the local jiu-jitsu scene. Visit Ikiro Collective at ikiro.ph. Simply better dentistry. Designer mouth guards and the best dental service in the heart of Makati. Visit the Santos Dental Group and Oral Surgery Center. Book an appointment on their Facebook page. Beat bacteria and viruses the natural way. Get Nano Silver Immune Support Supplement. Order your bottles on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Come check out the local martial arts scene here in the Philippines. Visit Local MMA on Facebook. My life is about providing value and helping others achieve their goals. Please help me make more podcast episodes, video tutorials, and educational content that will benefit everybody. Support this channel by clicking the link in the description box. Thank you for your support, and I will keep making content that matters. So that's it, everyone. That was your Titos of Fighting. We enjoyed making this episode, so we hope you learned something from the pilot episode, actually. So we'll keep making more, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.